2030 is just about 5 years from now. And when you look at the 17 SDGs, would you say that as a country that we are right on track meeting the SDG goals by 2030, and also the National Economic Council? What is the kind of advice you give to this council to help us accelerate our progress in attaining these goals?
Okay, a very important question, since is our global development agenda. Sustainable development goals are our global sustainable agenda. And you can see that the whole world is actually behind. There was a voluntary review this year that was deliberated at the United Nations General Assembly. And for Nigeria, we're largely progressing on 35%. And some of the areas that are giving us challenges, like the goal on no poverty, you can see it in other measures, with our poverty index that was in the news recently. So I think it needs to be state-led and truly inculcated into the development plans nationally and by each state. Because when you look at the goals, a lot of things are also on the concurrent list, like education, primary healthcare. And that's why National Economic Council is very important in helping us accelerate the last lap, what I would call the last lap. But this is the opportunity for Nigeria. Our development plan expires this year and is going to be in alignment 2026 to 2030, in alignment with the final time we have to give it our best. And I do know that the council approved the new plan. I'm sure you saw it. It's going to be called the Renewed Hope Plan. And we're going to try and ensure that, all these frameworks feed into the plan, all these areas form the national priorities, so that we're not only accelerating on the areas of the goals that are nuanced to us, but we're also concentrating on those priority areas. And each goal has actually broken indicators and different areas. So that's what, at the National Economic Council, there is a very important program which I coordinate, the Human Capital Development Program in Nigeria. And when you look at it, we prioritize health and education and skills, labor force participation, and then there's some mainstream areas such as gender and vulnerable groups, food and nutrition, and so on. So we're actively advocating being impact-oriented, to make sure we are really looking at the data and we keep advocating to the MDAs and the states so that we progress.
Quite interesting that you've noted all this, but beyond the rhetoric of implementation, which of these specific SDGs would you say that Nigeria can realistically meet by 2030, and which one is out of reach at the moment?
So I will take the human capital perspective, where we did check, has any country made progress on education, health? Yes, Kenya actually improved in a very short time on some of it. And I think it's the political will, buoyant fiscal space, having an integrated financing framework, which is one of the key takeaways and areas that the government is trying to improve. But I think we can, of course, a lot of the areas have very long-term results framework. But I think the most important area that I think will have rippling impact on the others, education. I think, I don't see how we can achieve many other goals without tackling education. Of course, health too, healthcare, tackling the out of school, even learning poverty. And you can see, you just spoke about it, math has been taken. updating the curriculum, ensuring what is taught is what society needs to create jobs, the skills element. So there are quick wins that I think if we selectively choose, especially when going into this national planning process, we can achieve, accelerated progress in the next 5 years.
Okay, let me come to you, Thomas. Let me say the private sector man.